Okay, well, it's early January 2021, and yesterday I finally got around to getting a few plastic covers that are kind of greenhouse-like for some of my plants. Well, cruciferous vegetables are not usually too bad in the cooler months here. It's gotten kind of cold lately, and some of them were looking kind of sad. So I decided to resort to getting these covers. This was the last one at the place that I got it, and had no more of the structure to go underneath, so I got these two sort of rounded things like some others. So basically same idea as this, but much bigger, so that I'd have some structure on which to put this. And I've got some hacksai or sui choi seedlings underneath here, some of which appear to still be alive and some of which look kind of sad, like they may be dead. And that it's gotten kind of chilly here lately. These other hacksai plants are under nets and that, so I've got purple hacksai here, and got purple cabbage under here. Some of the hacksai I've got down here is looking kind of sad, and these ones are looking so-so. The peas seem to be okay. And yeah, so this is my peach orchard, and my plum orchard, and my cherry orchard with a persimmon tree in the corner at the end, because I only have one of those, and some apricot trees, a bit of dill that's kind of not looking its liveliest but still exists, coriander, and parsley and herb celery. And these are artichoke plants, and I had one over here, but someone put this planter on top of it, and so only the stub is there. We'll see what happens come spring. And cauliflower, it's more established. These cauliflower plants are dead. I'll have to pull those ones up. Oregano, I have a lot of oregano and thyme in the garden. Some mint. I was not aware before planting things that oregano was in the mint family. So unlike the mint that I made a point of putting in pots to keep control of, I wound up having the oregano get rather large on me and taking over. Thyme has a tendency to take over as well, so I'm thinking that the two should be nicknamed Pinky and the Brain. Okay, we've got some more apricots here and just over there. Some carrots, beets, and chard, which are not so lively at this time of the year, but I may have some kind of becoming a little more lively in the spring and that, because they can winter over. Here I've got some mukuge or rose of Sharon trees and 4 orange trees in between the mukuge. 3 of them are forms of mandarin orange, I believe, and one of them is an Eokon, which is an Ehime orange from the prefecture of Ehime in Shikoku. And here I've got Brussels sprouts and orange cauliflower, and here I've got some carrots, not sure how well they're likely to do. Got purple cabbage and purple cauliflower and some more cauliflower. I just put these 2 things over top of them last night because it's been getting chilly here. Apparently it was supposed to go down around -7 in the wee morning hours, and so I figure if it's going to be down that low, I should have them covered because they haven't been looking as happy. Here we have my little vineyard, and it's kind of fun that I've got one set of 6 vines here that are Niagara grapes, and it's like, well, that's appropriate for me because I spent a few years as a child living half an hour from Niagara Falls. Got some strawberry plants that aren't looking so lively at the moment because of the cold, but they'll be okay come New Year. I had some trees on top of here that I moved over there, so the cherry trees were here before. I just moved them over there this week, and the plum trees were here and moved that. I plan to weed these and prepare them. This bed and this bed are going to become strawberry beds, and I'll be taking, and that bed as well, and I'll be taking some strawberries from some of these beds that have been strawberry beds for a few years now and moving them here because you're supposed to rotate. So that's what I need to do. And over here we have blueberry plants, some romaine lettuce that was bolting to seed but then seems to have died with the cold. And over here we have some biwa or loquat trees. So this is the bigger loquat tree that I bought from a store because it's got a few years on these others and will produce sooner. And then I've got a few loquat trees that were planted in the corner of someone else's garden a couple years ago, and so these ones are in their 2nd year. And then I've got these baby ones that I started from seed last June after I was given my first biwa of the year from someone, and figured I'd grow some from seed myself. And that, oh yes, almost forgot, I also have some more apricot trees. I also have some aronia berry bushes, 3 of them over here with the mukuge, and they're related to blueberries but much higher in nutrients. However, they don't taste as good. So I decided to put them in the freezer, and then I mix them with blueberries and a few strawberries and some cream cheese and vanilla yogurt, a wee bit of brown sugar, and turn them into cheesecake. So yeah, anyway, these are here with the light, it's probably better to go this way. So these 2 are pomegranate trees that I bought, and someone gave me a pomegranate a couple months ago. So I put the seeds in here and we'll see if they come up. Someone gave me some overripe KB a few months ago, so I put the seeds in here. We'll see if they come up. These two in the white pot are sanshuyu, which are a type of fruit that is used in Chinese medicine. And this is a strawberry tree, which has no relation to strawberries whatsoever, and is actually related, I think it's in the arbutus family. And it was on sale, so I decided to try. And I've got 4 more of these at home that I got at a different store from the same chain, also marked down. And what do you know? More apricot trees. This whole tree thing started with me wanting apricots. And so now I've got multiple apricot trees. And I kind of had some mission creep and got into all these other trees. So here we have 3 nectarine trees and the rest are apples. And the reason the nectarines are with the apples is because, as you can see, the peach line is a little bit crowded because I've got like 18 peach trees. And for apple trees, I have 2 Fujis, 4 Tsugarus, and then 5 different other kinds, one of which has like little apples that are kind of crab apple size, about between 1 and 2 inches high and between 1 and 2 inches wide. And over here we've got nashi, so that's Asian pears, and then at the end of that I've got 4 Western pears, so 1 pair of French pears and 1 pair of other Western style pears. And yeah, so purple cabbage. I have a lot of strawberry beds, so I need to move those around. I've got raspberries here, and these I was still getting fruit on until last month, and then late in December, after frost started hitting, they started to dry up, so they weren't as good. And then basically Christmas, or just after Christmas, is when I got the last edible ones, and then they were just kind of dried up like this. So we'll see what comes up in the spring, but I got some good yield out of them, especially back in June, July, and that really enjoyed them. Had friends over to pick raspberries together, and it was all sorts of fun. And then we got a few more raspberries in the fall as well, and that was a blast. One lady I know brought her daughter and granddaughter to experience picking raspberries and seeing some other stuff, and pastor's wife and that brought their daughter to come and check out the garden and experience picking a few things and seeing stuff, so that was fun as well. And yeah, so that's kind of most of what I've got here. And these are raspberries that are set aside for someone, and it looks like I've got some little babies starting to come up in here, so that's good, because I'm not sure if these other ones are gonna, like, if the ones that are already grown up and tall are gonna be any good for making more raspberries this year. So at least we've got some new ones there to come up. And over here we've got varying heights of raspberry canes, and we'll see what we get from these this year. And these are poles from stuff that I took down. I had some nets up for pea plants and such to climb up and cucumbers to climb up. Oh, I almost forgot to show you. There's this thing called plants in pants, where you can take old pants and fill them with dirt and use them like planters. And I saw it on someone else's Facebook and decided to try it. So that's what I've got here. And the good point is it makes use of something you've already got. Maybe, they might have a hole that makes them unwearable, or elastic that's not working anymore, or whatever. But the problem is that they do start to disintegrate after a while, and some do it more so than others. I was growing some different kinds of melon in the different pairs of pants last year, and so I called them melon pants, which is a pun in Japanese but not in English. The Japanese had some influence from Portuguese many years ago, and so their word for bread is actually pan, and that means that they wind up with what's called melon pan. So they've got these buns that are melon shaped and sometimes have melon flavoring in or on them, and they're called melon pan, therefore melon pans. And so, silly foreigner with some Japanese and playing with language. But some people appreciate puns more than others, even here in Japan, and it's considered old man humor here, kind of like it's considered to be dad jokes in the West. Anyway, that's probably enough for this video, I think. And if you have questions, you can let me know, but that's some of the main stuff. And yeah, I think that's the general gist of things. So this is first Raspberry Ruth video of this year, and we'll see what we wind up with next year. And here's some common thyme. I also have creeping thyme. And some oregano that I cropped back the other day.